Hello there everyone, this is Iron Mark 3 and welcome back to a little bit of FTD. Yes, from the depths. And today I'm coming at you with something a little bit rarer for this channel. This is the Great Collaborative 1 Hour Build Challenge. TM, question mark. Limited, all rights reserved. No, this is our build challenge. We've never really quite settled on a name for it, but this is something being kicked around between me and 3 others. And the idea is we have an hour's build time each, and then we pass it on to the next person in the line. And through random draw, I happen to be 4th and last. So here we are. I'm joined in this little endeavour by Randomness, who also goes by, I think it's BWI Gaming on the YouTubes. Let me double check that real quick. Yes, BWR Games on YouTube. And he put together the basic hull of what is a hydrofoil style craft with spin block mounted engine emplacements in the back for its propulsion and also its steering. So basic hull was his. Dammer wound up being second and requested to do the main cannons, so he's done these monstrosities just in here. Let's actually get some information up for you guys and let you have a better look at this. There we go. So these was Dammer's put together. Some fairly powerful stuff. Right, hollow point and armor piercing shells. That's pure AP. And this is an APHE. Some nasty toys Dammer likes putting together for this kind of thing. And then the third one in our rotation was Max Misty, who went and installed some extra armoring, installed the AI, installed the laser AMS, and installed these engine blocks down below. He claims he has given me about 8,000 engine power to do what I want with, so I will mount class 10 plasma shields and call it a day. No. If only they were the old plasma shields, but no. Mounted some decent little compact engine units just down here. One slight note that he was unsure of is he installed lots of individual exhausts down here at the bottom. And I can tell you right now that that is one way to do it. What it does is it takes a whole bunch of hot gas coming out of a single point and splits it among a lot of individual points which are then a lot less hot. So makes it a bit safer, I suppose, but at the cost of some armor integrity, usually. It's an alternate way of doing it. So, Random did the hull, Dammer did the main guns, laser defense and AI and engines came from Max Misty. And as on the fourth one, I think my priority is actually going to be to button this up and do final checks and try and make sure it's functional. We might do another rotation around it, just in case. So if I don't quite get it finished to the point where we're all happy with it, then we might see another episode or so. But that said, if you want to view their episodes on this, their episodes will be down in the description below. So please feel free to check them out, see what they did with it. One thing worth noting is we've actually all taken an individual approach to doing the videos in this one. BWR Games, I'm not sure which one to refer. My direct contact is Random, so Random. Random is an hour building the hull out. Dammer has done his silent time-lapse style, putting the cannons together. Max Misty actually did a voiceover time-lapse of installing everything. So that's the third way to do it, which, by the way, Max Misty, is an entirely valid way of doing a time-lapse, so don't worry, you're doing fine. But I tend to like doing jump cuts and things as well as time lapses, so I'll probably end up doing that in a slightly different style. Also, ignore that, that's just my old little holder fort. It's just holding the vehicle, that's all it does. So, I haven't started the timer yet because it was just giving you guys a look around the vehicle, and I have spotted something which I think I want to have a quick look at first. And that will actually be the propulsion system. So, if I'm going to get stuck into this, I'm going to start my timer. Press button, go. Okay, so, I noticed that these seem to be a bit rounded, so I wasn't quite sure about it. Can I increase the height on this one, please? There we go. Get it a bit further out of the water. It wasn't quite meant for this kind of thing. Yeah, I think... yeah. Okay, right. That is done. Right. So if I look at this, loss of 45% propulsion. So, that's because of these slope blocks in here. The duct doesn't actually affect it, but the slope blocks do. So I think that should be all it needs. There we go, full power achieved. What are you? You are alloy? Okay, that's no problem. I just need to access decorations, and I can fix this up, no problem. Okay, that should do that one just fine. We have got ourselves, well, a minor correction in the rudders, but that's best part of double the available power, since we were losing half of it. Okay, moving on. Let's see. That's how the steering is controlled, just like left and right. Since I'm the last one in line, I'm focusing on functionality first. So, let us see. We currently have 13,000 horsepower. Full power we have about 10,000. We also don't have liftoff. Okay, we've got a problem here. Let's see. Forces involved on the ship. Downwards, forward propulsion. Right. I think that's probably just an AI issue. Hang on. Where is that AI? There is that AI. Hello AI, how are you? We need a height control. We don't have your control either. Uh-oh. Sorry, not your. Roll. Okay, let's set hover. Fake point set to 0. I want to enable the pitch controller. Just for whatever. And do we actually have set movement sites? We don't actually have behaviors, right. Yep, and that's what happens when we don't have any kind of yaw control. Our centre of thrust is completely off. It's also the fact that it's not adjusting for pitch or altitude either. Okay, So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually split these guys up, which I know is probably sounding like slightly weird, but my first reaction would actually be to install a large rudder on each of the 4 pylons that we've got going on. But that will take more time than I really have, so I'm going to fine-tune the existing blades instead. So, what are you? You are set for pitch up. Okay. Let's give you 0.75 and also 0.25. I always get mixed up slightly on which way is which for these guys, so... Did I completely just mess things up? I did, right. And I feel like since the AI is only a boat AI, I'm going to actually install standard PIDs for this. Since I'm more familiar with that than the AI integrated ones, which are kind of shaky half the time, I find. Okay. Roll. And yes, I have got those backwards. Okay. I think we ran into my forts. Yes, we did. Just ignore that. Okay, I've been looking at this for a bit, and I feel like I just don't have enough power. I know, that's not the best thing to be saying, especially right now, but it's like, I feel like this craft is trying to do what I'm telling it to, but it just doesn't have enough lift. And it doesn't have enough speed to multiply the lift of its hydrofoils. It's just like, it can't lift itself up. 5 meters per second is literally the best I've got out of it, so that's not very good, is it? With that in mind, I'm going to see about installing some extra stuff down here, so I figure out what's where. Let's see, turret wells are there. I can't dig into that. I guess underneath the aft decking is where I'm going to have to install these things. Unless I decide to just install it at the back and blow them over the helicopter. Let's try side mounting these guys first. There's some nice big holes in the armour. I'm sure that won't hurt anyone. Random, I apologise for tearing apart your nice good armour scheme, but it's like, I needs to do the thing. I'm going to install it down here. That should be good, right? That does mean I'll have to move this across by one. Right, after, well, honestly, a bit more time than I was comfortable with, must admit. I managed to get, at the very least, I got the hydrofoil acting like a hydrofoil. Oh dear, that I spent way too long on that. Gotta admit, I spent way too long on that. But hey, what can you do? All I had to do really was increase the armouring around the area just to make sure the engines were safe. But I did do the age-old solving the problem by, you know, slapping massive engines in there and praying to the gods of making things go flying. But with that put in place, I had to actually try and get more of the craft done. So that was kind of my next focus. Because I still had to try and button things up, I had to do the secondaries, I had to do basically anything I could think of to try and get things going a bit better. And time was against me, really. Time constraints kind of bad. I tend to work better when I don't have them, I must admit. I'm going to be honest, yep, cancel that before it beeps, there we go, time has been reached. Oh my, I was hoping to get more done, I must admit, though I do have a habit of sometimes just getting a little bit caught up on something. I think the main part that slowed me down was the getting this thing actually acting like a hydrofoil. Slapping in massive jet engines was only part of the equation. I had to get the actual foils themselves working as well, which they are doing now. The craft seems to struggle a bit with steering, but we can improve on that. We can improve on that. Superstructure, I didn't really get much done. Secondaries, I managed to install some banks of secondaries. I haven't added in aim restrictions on them yet. There is some preliminary top armouring on the front. But again, not that much. I always seem to take longer than I expect on this kind of thing. And of course, it wouldn't be me meddling around if I didn't install a massive chonking missile battery in there somewhere. And if I do it, this thing now has 96 fairly fast turning explosive EMP missiles. Good for about a kilometre range. So short range, kind of saturation target effect. I think the main thing to note with what I did was actually installing the jet thrusters under the rear armour back here. So those are kind of beefy, kind of bulky. I added some protection in terms of raising the decking here to give me space for metal beams under there. But might want to beef up the area further still, whoever's working on it next, if they choose to revisit that area. Yeah. I was planning to do more. I was thinking maybe even installing an offensive laser system with the remaining horsepower, but there's plenty left and not enough time. Fortunately, while I was recording, there was chats going on, and David said he's fine with keeping it going around to its complete, and I'm afraid that's going to have to be the case, unfortunately. It's not done yet. So again, this was done in hour lots between me, Random, or BMI Games. Not BMI Games. What am I on about? 1 second. No, BWR Games. / Random. Max, Misty, and Dammer. You'll find the links to the parts that existed before this in the description down below, and you'll probably see this guy again. So, this has been Mark 3. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Helps out me, helps out the channel, gives me those virtual head pats I oh so crave. And we'll see you all later. Maybe drop it down slightly. No, don't meddle. Don't meddle.